All right, Shalom. All praises goes to Yahweh Bashim Yahushai, Bashim Kakwadash. Double honors goes to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone, from whom I learned the truth. And much love and peace and blessings goes out to all you hopeful elect brothers that are teaching the word of Yahweh Bashim Yahushai. Basically, I'm gonna do this lesson. Hey, Yahweh Bashim Yahushai, destruction is here, man. Because America is just totally through, all right? Because it's finished as a society for the fact that you so-called white people are the ones that ruin it. And what have you done? You have punished and afflicted and enslaved the chosen people of the Most High. Now we find ourselves, 500 plus years into your rulership. Your shit is going down, man. Yahweh Shemel Shai have given the spirit to the Israelite men once again to come to back and to worship him, starting with the elect, of course, because of all the Israelites, there's just a chosen portion that's selected to come back to the truth. And that's a beautiful thing, because within that means Yahweh Shem Shai is going to dismantle all of our enemies, because that's what the Most High does when righteous Israelites call out to him for the oppression of their oppressors. Yahweh Shem Yahushai moves, and that's what he's doing all 2020. As it has been declared the year of prophecy, we've seen a lot of heavy judgments go on this whole year, and that's like one of the main issues of prophecy in the Bible, is that Yahweh Shem Yahushai destroying and bringing great plagues upon the earth, and that's exactly what's going on. You got the coronavirus, which has been unleashed in America, killed allegedly over 150,000 people and shit. You know what I'm saying? And have gotten a lot of people sick and all bugged out. And just speaking on that a little bit, we know it's contrived. We know Esau made this shit in a laboratory, because what Esau is trying to do is, at the same time, establish his new world order, where the elite bankers want to show their dominance over the earth and implant everybody with RFID chips. But at the same time, you got to understand, Yahweh Shem Yahushai controls the elites. He controls Esau. So Yahweh Shem Yahushai is having these judgments come out. And, you had this guy, Kobe Bryant, got put to death. And you had the protests that's been going on this year, which has raised up racial tensions. And now within these past couple of weeks, you had Hurricane Laura, which hit the southern part of the United States, mostly damaging Louisiana. And you have wildfires going on in California, and they say these are some of the biggest wildfires to ever happen. And what's crazy about that is you've had record-setting wildfires in California for going on years now, and now 2020 is the worst of the worst. So I'm gonna go hit in a bit on this article, because it details the situation of what's going on. And us brothers, that when you see us do these videos, it's because we're like watchmen. We watch out for the prophecies of Yahweh Shem Yahushai, as is commanded for us to do, because we relate it to the power of the Most High, and showing to the hopeful elect brothers out there that the Most High, we know, is going to eventually wake up, showing you, look, the judgment is here and you need to repent, okay? So this is from the Atlantic. It says, America is being pummeled by disasters. Hurricane Laura is the strongest storm on record to strike Louisiana, and is yet another calamity on top of wildfires, windstorms, and the pandemic. So, woo, there you go, man. That's call Allah Yahweh Shem Yahushai. In the United States, disasters tend to strike in late summer and fall. When hurricanes come ashore, wildfires rage across the West, and droughts reach their maximum. Beyond our borders, these months are the time of the Amazon wildfires, and the Amazon wildfires happened last year. And that was a significant event. It says of sweltering heat waves, of great urban floods, for in other words, where people dwell at, because it wouldn't be a significant flood. It's just in the middle of nowhere. But these are floods where going on, damaging people's homes. You know, you have heavy flooding out there in China amongst those Moabites, which the Moabites are our enemies as well. The Moabites of China are a bunch of wicked, disgusting people, man. It says, for some years now, I've covered climate change, which means covering the day-to-day convulsions of the Earth's system. And quickly it became clear to me that August, September, and October make up the season of disaster. How long? I have started to wonder until our collective sense of time begins to match that reality. How long until the fall isn't when life starts all over again, but when life starts to fall apart? Which, I mean, that's somewhat of a lie as it is, because life starts over again in springtime. It says, this came this week overnight. Hurricane Laura made landfall in Louisiana as a powerful Category 4 storm, the strongest hurricane ever to strike the state. It says, while the cyclone's storm surge does not at writing seem as bad as feared, the storm was a monster, subjecting cities to unrelenting tornado-force winds and prompting the evacuation of tens of thousands of people. Laura did not arrive alone. Since mid-August, wildfires have blazed through California and the Mountain West, choking the air with toxic smoke and forcing people from San Francisco to Denver to check the air quality before they leave the house. In the Golden State, those fires were caused by twin misfortunes of an intensive heat. And these aren't misfortunes. These are the judgments that Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai. Misfortune comes from Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai. Okay? Let's see. It says that desiccated forest and subsequent lightning siege that ignited them. The heat wave would have been threatening by itself. 11 days ago, it prompted a midday reading of 130 degrees Fahrenheit in Death Valley, the hottest temperature ever reliably measured on Earth. Comparison. Flesh at 122 degrees Fahrenheit, flesh starts to cook. So if you were actually standing in Death Valley, I believe that might be in Nevada. I'm not sure, it's somewhere out there in the Southwest, but it's one of the hottest places in America at any given time, and especially in the summer months. But if you were standing there on this day, you would actually cook alive because it's so hot. This is all judgment. It says all those disasters followed in early August. And you know what's spiritual about that? Everybody in America that ain't right, that are the enemies of the Most High, are going to be cooked alive at a degrees way hotter than 130, way hotter than 122 degrees, because it mentions 122 degrees cooks flesh. It's going to be hotter than that. It says all those disasters followed in early August derecho, or straight line windstorm in Iowa that subjected the eastern half of the state to sustained winds 70 miles per hour, destroying homes, power lines, and grain silos. And that happened early August. I remember that because brothers did lessons on it, and that was something not really widely talked about in the news. And Iowa is a state that from its cornfields and agriculture, it sustains a lot of America's crops. It says, destroying homes, power lines, and grain silos, it wrecked so many corn and soybean fields that Iowa's projected annual crop yield was cut in half. So that's a lot of money lost. This is what comes upon a society for being wicked, and that's not something that these news articles would say, because righteous societies don't get this level of judgment. Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai actually gives you temperate weather to plant your crops, to survive in your jurisdiction when you do right. But these nations because they're heathens and because the so-called white man is the devil, he goes against the scriptures. He promotes wickedness and folly, like, women being whores. I was just watching this music video of this Jake, man, and it's like a nigga woman. She's like, seemed to be light skinned, probably have a Edomite mother. But she was just in the video, just shaking her ass, man, busting it, being a whore. And that's what's promoted. That's the type of youth that is raised up here in America, which is totally out of line. It says this series of disasters struck while the country is facing the fastest and deepest economic downturn since the Great Depression, which has stripped tens of millions of their jobs and doubled demand for food banks in some places. Disasters hit after all congressional aid for the recession expired. And all this, the elites actually have a weather manipulating system called HARP, HARP, which they have used, and even President John F. Kennedy spoke about this being in the plans of the government to manipulate the weather to produce these storms. So these storms, Esau is collapsing his own society, because he wants to introduce an RFID microchip. He wants people to be in a state of calamity so he can introduce a solution to them, a welcoming solution, right? A welcome solution to their problems. All right. So he has gone about having an excuse for people to lose their jobs with the COVID and a loss of food with these storms and crazy weather. But you gotta understand that everything that happened has been decreed by Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. Yahweh Bashem Yahushai is the ultimate judge. And he gave this devil the technology for the heart programs. So this devil is not doing anything outside the will of the Most High. So who ultimately gets the credit for all this is Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. It's just that Esau has gotten a lot of power through the left hand of Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. It says, in normal times, a natural disaster sometimes leaves behind a sense of collective resolve, even purposeful joy among those who survived it, a paradise built in hell. But such a utopia is far to construct when infection stalks the land. So you have that sense of relief when people survive these disasters, but now they catch so much hell. It's like, fuck, you still gotta live in America. Here it is, America was already getting jacked up. Now you losing homes and you still have to worry about coronavirus. You still have to worry about all these protests. It's calamity on every side for these people here in America because they're a bunch of wicked people, man. Got these women all out of order. Men are a bunch of simple ass niggas. The men are a bunch of homosexuals, man. The men of this society are fucking reprobates. They sit there and act like women, And when it comes to the Israelite man, you are weak and effeminate. The ones that aren't in His truth, they like to grow their hair out to look like women with these dreadlocks. They're reprobates. It says on that same day, Lord made landfall, U.S. reported 1,200 deaths from COVID-19. If that many people died in a storm, it would be a national calamity. But the coronavirus has been with us for so many months, and our leaders have callously refused to grieve with us that the virus's daily reaping has become a background statistic. So it's heavy amounts of death being poured out in America. It says a hurricane, a season of fire, poisoned air, skin-boiling heat, treacherous winds, ruined crops, a time of poverty and disease. Is this our lot? Yeah, it is. It is America's lot. Because America's Babylon the Great, according to the Bible. America has drunken the blood of the saints, which are the Israelites. All right? Us as being the prophets of the Lord, we had to grow up in this fucking hellhole, being subjected to poverty, the knowledge of our ancestors being raped, robbed, and murdered. Some brothers was more fortunate than the next, but we all was here messed up, having to be called black, brainwashed to believe in the philosophies of this place. That's oppression in itself. You know, we didn't get it as hard as our ancestors, but we are our ancestors, you know, because we were in slavery as well. We were in our past lives picking cotton, getting whipped on the back, getting hung and lynched and shit by these devils. So we feel that. It's generational curses, man. Post-traumatic slave disorder. You know, that's what our people go through here. So this is America's lot, as this person, whoever wrote this article, has questioned. Okay? So it's by this dude named Robinson Meyer. So it says, let's go back. It says, is this our future? It seems facile to point out the role climate change. It's a lot. Hold on. Let me go down. I mean, that's about it, man. Yeah, America is finished. As, you know, and this is articles that people of the world are writing. So, like this guy, Robinson Meyer, I don't know if he's a Jake or Edomite, but he is a regular old dude. And people see, this is it. People are all bugged the fuck out. And judgment is smacking their ass. And judgment is going to start smacking you even more. Okay? So this is Nahum chapter 3, verse 1. It says, woe to the bloody city. It is full of lies and robbery. And that's America. That's what America is filled to the brim with. So Yahweh Shem Yahushua is bringing that cleaning method, which is judgment. And the ultimate sweeping, like the scriptures mention, the sweeping bism. You use a sweep. You use a, what is it called? Broom, right, to sweep. It cleans the floors. And that's what these missiles are going to do to this defiled land, is clean it up. Because it's like it mentions, full of lies and robbery. Robbery on the behalf of you Edomites, because of you've stolen people, and you stole their lands from the Gadites and from the rest of the northern kingdom in Central and South America, Mexico, the Caribbean islands. But America specifically is the bloody city. It says, the prey departeth not. The noise of a whip and the noise of the rattling of the wheels and of the prancing horses and of the jumping chariots. And that basically describes the ambiance of America. Like if you watch certain movies, they'll have cutscenes that will play, like, you know, cities like New York City in a what is it called, like you know, they fast forward the time and just show you cars moving up and down, honking horns. That's how America is. That's basically giving a description of America. It says, the horseman lifted up both bright sword and a glittering spear, and there is a multitude of slain and a great number of carcasses, and there is none end of their corpses. They stumble upon their corpses. And, you know, this is the multitude of dead bodies left by reason of the martial law. Because like this guy with the AR-17 out there in Kenosha, in those Kenosha clashes, he lifted up his glittering sword, which was his gun, and killed this dude, man. Killed two dudes. But it's going to be to a worse point, because martial law is going to be declared. Like you have the Operation Warp Speed. You have Trump talking about using the military to force a vaccine. That's unprecedented. Why would you need military to force something that's beneficial? It's because it's not beneficial. It's a device of Satan. It says, because of the multitude of the whoredoms of the well-favored harlot, the mistress of witchcrafts that selleth nations through her whoredoms, and families through her witchcrafts. And that is describing America. America is a wicked nation that sells these other nations with false philosophies, right? The belief in atheism, evolution, feminism, homosexuality, LGBTQ, P influence. Okay, these are America's deeds. It says, behold, I am against thee, saith the Lord of hosts, and I will discover thy skirt skirts upon thy face. In other words, an expose. And I will show the nations thy nakedness and the kingdoms thy shame. And I will cast abominable filth upon thee and make thee vile, and will set thee as a gazing stock. In other words, to be mocked, to be laughed at, to be looked at as an outcast and seen as deplorable. And that's how these nations actually look at America, because America is exposed as the devil. I should say America is exposed as a wicked society. The so-called white man is exposed as the devil because he's Esau, Edom, according to the Bible. America is only wicked because of who rules it. America is just the land. America is nothing. It couldn't be wicked without you devils. You devils rule this place, and you're the ones that fucking make it wicked with all your pedophilia, homosexuality, all these different things, total debauchery, all right? Lack of godliness, witchcraft. It's what goes on here. So that's why this place is off. And that's why it's receiving these judgments like we read in the article. So this is Book of Revelation, chapter 18. Let's see. Revelation 18:2. Matter of fact, I'll skip to the point. It's verse 5. It says, "For her sins have reached unto heaven, and the Most High hath remembered her iniquities." The iniquities is sin upon sin. America is a place of straight up debauchery, man. Like our people catching hell in this society, being profiled by you devils. You know, like this NFL player, I forget his name. He was being profiled going into his home. You know, it's a young Jake Dreads. And Esau thought, oh, look at this thug, and called the cops on the guy while he had kids in the car. And he's venting, you know, venting his frustration at the fact of being profiled like that for doing nothing wrong. See, our people get side-eyed and viewed as criminals when they don't even do nothing. And then you devils marvel when they do and get into lives of criminality. Because you devils, man, you are nothing but, like I said, the devil. It says, reward her even as she rewarded you, and double unto her, double according to her works. And the works of America towards us, like you watch that movie 13, it's nothing but straight wickedness against us. Like this associate of the Nixon era, because that's when Esau started to be PC, right? So he said, look, we don't use the term nigga no more. Now we say criminal. You see what I'm saying? That's America's works. And he throw our people in prison, give them gang culture, rap music, like the so-called Jew. He pushes rap music. Niggas wouldn't be doing rap music on their own. The so-called Jew pushes rap music. Niggas are just the employees. You see what I'm saying? It says, in the cup which she had filled to her double. So America's receiving a double portion of the wickedness which it dished out. It says, how much she hath glorified herself and lived deliciously. And you Edomites have got to live deliciously. That's why there was a such thing as the middle class. All types of foreign nations have come to America over the years to partake in that delicious lifestyle, like from European countries, from Asia, all right, from Ireland, from Thailand. They come over here to live this, partake in America's, that petrodollar. It says, so much torment and sorrow give her. So as great as America's wealth and, her celebrations and all this shit has been, it's going to receive that level of judgment. So that's high judgment. That's why we seeing all this shit go on. It says, for she saith in her heart, I sit a queen, and am no widow, and shall see no sorrow. And that's an attribute of Esau, Edom, being proud, thinking that he will live forever as being this top nation. Like I mentioned, America is just a land, man. The thing that brings the wickedness of America to life is you devils, man. All right. So this is Psalm chapter 9, verse 8. It says, says, matter of fact, Psalm 9 and 5, it says, Thou hast rebuked the heathen, thou hast destroyed the wicked, thou hast put out their name forever and ever. And this is what Yahweh Shem Yahushai is actually building up towards. This is actually what Yahweh Shem Yahushai is manifesting right now, is rebuking the heathen and destroying them. It says, O thou enemy, destructions are come to a perpetual end, and thou hast destroyed cities, their memorial is perished with them. And America will be no longer remembered. You Edomites will be no longer remembered. All right? Because, look, Esau, Edom, has had a track record of destroying nations, destroying societies. Like you had Seneca Village, that was where Central Park is at. And it was actually somewhat of a Black Wall Street, if you will, a city or a small town where so-called blacks and even Indians live, so-called Indians, which are tribe of Gad, lived independently. Okay? And that was destroyed. Esau, that's what he does. He destroys cities. But it says his destructions are come to an end. Yahweh Shem Shai is now standing in the way. He's resisting the devil. It says, but the Lord shall endure forever. He hath prepared his throne for judgment. And this is, look, just like a state judge. He sits in his chair and he's getting prepared. He's reading through the files and of the criminality of the criminal, because he's doing what? He's preparing for the judgment. And America has been prepared for judgment because of his track record. It's now time as the chickens come home to roost, so to speak. It says, and he shall judge the world in righteousness. He shall minister judgment to the people in uprightness. And this is righteous, which America's receiving. People dying of COVID. That's a righteous judgment, man. These motherfuckers, wasn't righteous, man. A lot of these people are committing all types of sins. So that's why they dying. That's why they losing homes. That's why there's 12 billion in damage from Hurricane Laura. It says the Lord also will be a refuge for their Salakia. The Lord also would be a refuge for the oppressed, a refuge in times of trouble. We in the times of trouble. So Yahweh Shem Yahushai is our refuge. That's why this truth is a gift. That's why to be able to understand what's going on according to the Bible is a gift. And Yahweh Shem Yahushai will continue to be our refuge. He's going to manifest these things physically. He's going to give the prophets and the other believers food and shelter and drink when they need it. Because of what? Because he's a refuge for us. All right. So this is Isaiah chapter 34, verse 1. It says, come near, ye nations. So this is Yahweh Shem Yahushai speaking to the heathens. In some particular scriptures, the Most High refers to Israelites as heathens and nations. But this is talking about, example, the Moabites, the Edomites, especially the Edomites. You're in deep waters, man. You Edomites are in deep trouble before the Most High. It says, let the earth hear and all that is therein, the world and all things that come forth of it. For the indignation of the Lord is upon all nations, and his fury upon all their armies. He hath utterly destroyed them. He hath delivered them to the slaughter. So this is what's going on right now. Yahweh Shem Yahushai has prepared for these nations for their armies to lose miserably, to be destroyed and put to death in World War III. Because he's not with your causes, man. These heathens have imagined to be who will be the next ruler. America versus China, America versus Russia, Israel versus Iran. But Yahweh Shem Yahushai isn't with any of you nations, because you are all idolaters, man. You know, you are not for the cause of Yahweh Shem Yahushai. The only people on this earth that Yahweh Shem Yahushai has sanctified and cleansed are his sons and daughters, which are the Israelites. You see what I mean? So that's why the rest of you nations, though you fighting your causes, you call yourself fighting amongst each other. Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai is going to have you all get put to death. All right. So this is Psalm 18. Verse 47, it is the Most High that avengeth me. And that's what the Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai is doing. He's avenging the cause of the children of Israel, the Israelites, because everything we've suffered. So it's not upon us to take up guns and shit like that. This nigga that this brother did a video on that was an Israelite. He knows he's an Israelite of the fucking NFAC crew, man. You see what I'm saying? But the scriptures say it's the Most High that avenges us. It says he delivereth me up. He delivereth me from mine enemies. Yeah. Thou liftest me up above those that rise up against me. Thou hast delivered me from the violent man. Therefore will I give thanks unto thee, O Lord, among the heathen, and sing praises unto thy name. Great deliverance giveth he to his king, and showeth mercy to his anointed, to David and to his seed forever. You see? So these are the mercies of David, which Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai has promised to those that believe upon him and his son. And this is the things, this is why this is exciting. This is why this is something we rejoice in when we actually hear of all the destruction and judgment that's going on. We don't gasp at this shit. We actually embrace it. We want more destruction and death to come because we know Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai will be our protector. We know the judgment is coming. Just like you would want a bully to get his ass beat once you are getting bullied. You ain't scared of your brother that's coming to whoop the bully's ass. You are happy. You excited. You excited when you get your brother to go whoop on the bully's ass. That's exactly what Yahweh Shai is coming to do. And the Yahweh Shai actually sits on the thrones of judgment. So he's actually giving directions to the angels to bring all this judgment. Yahweh Shai is looking out for us, man. So this destruction will continue to go on, you know. Shalom and all praise goes to Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai. More destruction, more natural disasters, and death is set to unfold on the earth. It's all going to lead up to mandatory microchipping and the RFID, which is the mark of the beast. And then it's going to happen World War III. All the nations will go into World War III, into battle, to fight and kill each other. And that's when Yahweh Shai is going to show up and destroy them and deliver us. So this is a close time to where if we be of the elect and we hold on, that we will be crowned and rewarded and partake in a beautiful society, which is ruled according to the law, statutes, and commandments of the Most High, man, which produces a positive vibration on the earth, man, and is beautifies and restores everything, man. We're going to have a beautiful earth once again, beautiful kingdom. All right, no more of this wickedness, drabby, fucking gray ass, negative, evil society, man, that we live in. Shalom.